This is the sound of the conch that Kaho wakes up to. Villagers blow this conch during their prayers in the temple. No signals are allowed beyond this point without permission. I reassured the Indo-Tibetan border personnel that I would not cross the checkpost and understood I could not record videos here. My name is Aparna Jacob. I am in Kaho, the first village of India, a village between the borders of India and China. And I want to find out what is it like to live along the borders of these two countries. To help you imagine where Kaho sits, picture the dramatic slopes of Snowdonia in Wales, but stretched to a far more extreme height and ruggedness. Kaho clings to the side of the eastern Himalayas, far steeper and more remote than anything in the British landscape. And across just a few sharp ridge lines lies China. This village has a population of only 98 people. As I walk through the village, I meet an elder, Chochi Mayo, a Mayo woman who has been living in Kaho since 1984, and she tells me of the struggles she faces in Kaho.
हम लोग को वही उसमें हम लोग को थोड़ा तकलीफ है हम लोग को इतना मेहनत करने के
We
बाद
don't
में
get the fair
अपना
price
घर
sometimes for our farm
परिवार छोड़
produce.
के अपना घर छोड़
After
के
doing
हम
a
लोग
lot
को
of
मेहनत
hard
करता
work,
है
we
थोड़ा
get
पैसा
less.
मिलेगा बोल के वो मेहनत हम लोग को उतना हम लोग को पैसा सक्सेस नहीं है हम लोग का वही है
Kaho Tales is a story about a neglected village who has been wrestling with harsh weather, difficult terrain, and border tensions. This border has remained peaceful since the 1962 war. Kaho is a remote, lush green village surrounded by Himalayas. Located on the banks of Lohit River, this village is a home to the Mayos tribe, is in the Anjaw district of Arunachal Pradesh. As I approach Kaho, I see a welcome gate that reads Kaho at First Village of India. This designation was given to Kaho by the Indian government in 2022 because it is the easternmost village on the India-China border. Kaho is quite literally a stone's throw away from China, separated only by mountain walls and the invisible line of actual control. Line of actual control is an imaginary line drawn between the Indian territories and Chinese controlled regions. We went back to Chochi to listen to her struggles more.
उसके बाद में
After that, I have 4 children. We lived through great hardship. We didn't even have clothes. My husband also didn't have clothes. And at night, he would go and catch fish. 1 kilogram was 15 rupees at the time. We would sell that. We would sell the fish.
समय 15 रुपया था
Chochi's phone kept ringing as she shared her struggles. After talking to Chochi, I got a chance to listen to them communicating in their own language. This is the sound of army vehicles that's passing through this village. Chochi has been a victim of system failure, but she learned to survive in those harsh conditions. But there was a reason for all her struggles. Someone who has investigated these struggles is Claude Arpey, a French author and a subject expert on the history of Tibet, China, and the Indian subcontinent tells me the reason for the struggles faced by Kaho residents.
They change the government when they realize maybe it's, again it's China who triggered that realization that we have to look after this village. We have to look after this population. They are part of India, they are Indians, so they should not be neglected. In the past, they have been a little bit neglected for the simple reason that it is very far away and nobody wants to go. There was no road. So, and also what happened in 2015, China decided to do this Shaokang village, which is moderately well-off village on the border. They have got 700 villages like that, very close. So wherever you go on the border in Arunachal, but also in Sikkim, also in Uttarakhand or Himachal or Ladakh, you have on the other side these villages. These villages are very different in the sense that they are very often created out of nowhere, and you have maybe 10-15% of local people living there, and all the others are brought from outside, in Tibet or in mainland China. So because of this publicity which was given to the Xiaokang village, India decided to do something on its side, and I think that's how the vibrant village program VVP started. But the idea is very different because you don't bring people from outside. In the case of the vibrant village, you develop the existing village.
भारत और तिब्बत के इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर पर लोहित पास के नजदीक
An Indo-Tibetan border police inspector said in this first village Kaho is located near the Lohit Pass on the international border between India and Tibet. Approximately 2 kilometers north of this village, the international border between India and Tibet passes through Madan Ridge and Hill 100. Near Hill 100, there are hills named Hill 90 and Hill 80.
लाल गुलाबी चुन्नी पीली वाली सूट है चमचमाता बूट है आंगनबाड़ी में पढ़ती हूँ सबको
These are the everyday sounds inside the village school. Children repeating their lessons in unison as class begins. There is a post office that's not far from the school.
ये जो सेविंग अकाउंट है ना मैडम, ये जो इसमें तो पैसा अभी जमा कर रहे हैं.
Kaho branch postmaster Malut Sarkesh mentioned that residents use a post office bank because there are no banks or ATMs nearby, and they began their services in this village in the past 2 years. However, the locals do accept payments through Google Wallet, Apple Pay, and the Unified Payments Interface platform. There is only one ATM and one branch located in Hawaii at the district administration headquarters, which is a 3-hour drive from Kaho. Fast forward to 2025, people of Kaho has witnessed the change. Everyone that I have spoken here in Kaho says this place has transformed since 1962. One resident I spoke to is Madhuri Mayor, the Gram Panchayat chairperson.
When I was small, I used to go to study from here. I studied in this class, after which a school was built here. There wasn't any road here. Now they have constructed roads. Slowly, medical system was built here. Schools have flourished. Now we have network here. There is also electricity here. These are the changes that has happened. If it is something small, we manage here. If it is serious, we have to take the patient to Teju, but it is difficult. When I was a child, there were almost no facilities.
To understand this transformation, I turned to Lieutenant General Pradeep Nair, who retired as the Director General of Assam Rifles, a paramilitary troop solely focused on border security and responsible for counter-insurgency operations. How are regions like Kaho open for tourism even with heavy military presence in the area?
I told you it is a policy being adopted by the government. One is for these tourists to see how our borders look like and what are the sacrifices that the people in uniform do while they're serving there. Stay there for 2 years, 2.5 years without their families. It's a tough ask. So one is of course for them to understand, and second, like I said, when they come, in some way tourism grows. There is a livelihood that is there, which helps the people there to sustain.
And from the backyard of my homestay in Kaho, I could see tiny red lights blinking across the ridge. The Chinese outpost on the other side, a quiet reminder of how close and how real this border is. And what marks the boundary between these nuclear powers? Says the KP Mayor Gaubura of Kaho.
Gram Bura means village elder, and he was selected by the locals of this village.
Yes, from here, everything is India. Across the mountains, from the hill near the Madan Bridge, that side is China. There's also a hot spring there. And further from Jakbela, the borders of China, India, and Burma meet. People from Assam regiment used to stay there. All Russian goes from Hailong to that post. It would stop there for 6 months. From this side, we can't go there. You need permission. There is a stream called Sherunala. The hydro project is being built on that stream. There is a mountain like this. One side is China and the other side is India. You can't go from backside to the mountain. There is a stream called Dichunala. The water flows down that way. Down there, where will a bullet come from? Where will this come from? You don't know. Here it is very peaceful.
The central and state government has supporting this village, Kaho, under Model Village project. And one person who heading that change is Milo Kojin, who is the Deputy Commissioner of Anjaw district.
Model village means where this development schemes like especially for these villagers upliftment their livelihood, like this kitchen garden, then like this fish pond, like this then piggery schemes. These all are implemented in this.
When I first arrived from the United Kingdom, I had one big question. In such a remote place, would people choose to stay or would they live for a better life in the city? What I found was a village full of new life. Thanks to government support, Kaho is growing. It's not just about farming anymore. People are opening their homes to tourists, building fish ponds and growing food in new greenhouses. Young men are finding good jobs, working on the roads or helping the army. It's not perfect, of course. Some are happy with the changes while others feel the growth is too slow. While there are now better roads, electricity and phone signals, families still worry about how their children will get a good education. But even with the soldiers nearby and the uncertainty of the border, one thing is very clear. From the oldest residents to the youngest, everyone told us the same thing. This is our home and we are not going anywhere. Kaho is not just surviving, it's a place where people truly want to live.
Tumi sana sikimi todoe, sikimi todoe. Nilo cheche yari la la pe, ya 달라페 네또 조조 봄이까지야에 봄이까지야에 잉엘잉라 나이기 제포에